Alright, so we've been following the major Jonathan Majors story for quite some time because for Marvel fans, this is some pretty big news. This is the big bad of the Multiverse Saga, who has made 2 appearances already in the MCU with many more to come, including his own movie, The Kang Dynasty, and then what we can only assume being the peak villain, the big bad of Secret Wars. Well, there's some question marks about whether or not Jonathan Majors is going to remain in the MCU, and today we got some very bad news as to what direction that might be going. We're going to talk about this update today, and we'll discuss a little bit about whether or not Marvel might be in some more trouble. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Cosmic Culture, channel where we talk all things major movie, television news, theories, breakdowns, and much, much more. Now, I know you guys are all very familiar with the channel. Many of you have been watching it for years, and you might remember that there used to be a segment called Culture Catch Up. It was a live show, and I'm very excited to announce it will be returning. However, it will be returning on Twitch. Starting next month, we will be doing live streams multiple times a week, and we'll be doing what we did on the Culture Catch Up show that was live on YouTube before. You guys are all invited, and I would love to see you turn up and support the show, because if you remember, Culture Catch-Up is a live podcast where you guys decide the content. Your guys' questions, comments, and theories are all very, very widely what we do discuss during the show. So click the link in the description or comment section down below, and go ahead and give a follow. The first 10 Twitch subscribers will get a exclusive founder badge, and all subscribers will have access to emotes and some little fun surprises as we have Culture Catch Up together. Okay, let's jump into the rest of the video. So, coming from Alex P from Cosmic Circus, this is a pretty reliable source, guys. Somebody who constantly is giving us some direct updates about all things going on in the Marvel space. Now, this is what they had to say specifically. Update on Majors/Marvel situation. It appears there's an order on promotional materials/articles from Disney regarding the arrival of Quantumania on Disney+. Under no circumstance is any article allowed to mention Jonathan Majors or his involvement in the film as Kang. In addition, new Disney articles that are meant to promote the film reference Majors and his role as Kang the Conqueror as the following: the new threat that frightens everyone, as opposed to mentioning the actor and even the character by name. So this new order that has been proposed is showing us that Marvel might be very seriously considering not using Jonathan Majors to play Kang anymore. Now this is, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, a pretty massive deal because, well, that's your big bad. And not only is that the case that he's your big bad, but he plays thousands of variants that exist that we've already seen at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, literally thousands of Kangs who, although had different appearances, were all Jonathan Majors. Now we know in the MCU there can be a lot of different forms of variants. We've seen with Spider-Man No Way Home and the Loki series that different variants can have different appearances. And this could very easily be remedied, and I'm sure Marvel are already working on their plan to change the actor and start anew, if this becomes the direction they want to go. But I'm going to say if this is the case, that they're not even going to use Kang or Jonathan Majors' name for any promotion of Quantumania, that's pretty drastic, and it seems like they might be leaning towards replacing the actor for somebody else. Now, here's what it says on Disney Plus, specifically for the description of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now streaming in IMAX Enhanced, superhero partners Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne return to continue their adventures as Ant-Man and the Wasp. Together with Hope's parents, Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, and Scott's daughter Cassie, the family finds themselves exploring the quantum realm, interacting with strange new creatures, and embarking on an adventure that will push them beyond the limits of what they thought was possible. So, zero mention of Kang whatsoever. And it does say interacting with strange new creatures, but that's it. There's zero mention here of Kang the Conqueror, who is the big bad of the Multiverse Saga. Again, massive news if this is the case. If this news is demonstrating that we're going on and changing the big bad, we're talking about some breaking news stories here for the MCU. Now, Alex P does go on further to identify what's happening, and he says, answering the question, so does this mean recast, or are they entirely removing the Kang storyline? And Alex P replied, no, absolutely not. Marvel is far too deep into the multiverse lore to back out with Kang now. The Multiverse Saga will continue. As for Majors, everyone will have the answer they are waiting for by the end of Loki Season 2. So, wow. Just absolute wow. It looks like, after all, even though things for a moment were looking up for Jonathan Majors after the whole assault incident, seemed to have some light at the end of the tunnel. His lawyers, Jonathan Majors' lawyers, and Jonathan Majors himself were all very, very confident that this was not going to result in any further issues or punishments or any time of sentencing, and now Disney seems like they're already pulling the trigger. Now, this isn't the first time Disney may have reacted early. We talk about Johnny Depp, and we watched that entire trial very closely. It was a really big deal in 2022, and we know based off of what we heard, what we saw, both by the law and by public opinion, that Johnny Depp maybe wasn't the main antagonist here. And although I'm not going to say he was perfect in this situation, he lost all of his jobs, and Amber Heard didn't. And I think if one of them was meant to lose their jobs, it was Amber Heard. And you might be saying, well, that was Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers was the one that, stopped working with him from Harry Potter, but they also were working on a new Pirates of the Caribbean, and Disney cut all ties with Johnny Depp. They decided not to move forward with the next movie that they were going to do. There were rumors of a Margot Robbie Pirates of the Caribbean that was going to happen, and Johnny Depp himself even said he would never work with Disney again after what happened with Disney, that they disrespected him. They just went off of what all the rumors were saying and the fact that he was a male and the aggressor. So this is something Disney has done before and are certainly willing to do, cut ties with any actor that might, stain the good look of Disney World. Now, there have been many accusations and people coming forward talking about Jonathan Majors and how he's been difficult to work with in the past, aggressive. I don't know the situation so closely that I can tell you if Jonathan Majors is right or wrong overall, but I can tell you that losing Jonathan Majors could be potentially a massive issue for the MCU, and not because they couldn't make sense of it. This, fortunately for them, being the multiverse saga, is the easiest thing to make sense of. Oh, there are new variants that look like this guy. Same Kang, same character. But the issue they might run into is, well, the reality of it is Jonathan Majors plays an amazing Kang. He's very convincing as a villain. He was amazing as He Who Remains. So it's going to be really tough to top that. Whoever signs up to take this role as Kang moving forward, if we end up in that position, is going to have a hard time topping the performances we've seen from Jonathan Majors so far. That's my opinion. Doesn't mean somebody out there can't do it and somebody out there can't do a fantastic job, but I do think it would be very, very difficult to move on. Now, it won't take too long, a few appearances, and we'll all be able to smooth it over if this is the case. But it is a little concerning as a fan for a massive character, the main bad guy, to potentially get recast in the middle of filming shows and writing the whole story. But that's the update for now. It looks like Disney might be headed in that direction based off of, this new order to not include Jonathan Majors or even Kang in any publicist articles. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section down below. I already mentioned it in the beginning of the video, but don't forget to go check out that link to Twitch so that you can follow Culture Catch Up on Twitch and you can be ready for that live show that will be coming. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video. I'll see you guys all in the next one right here on Cosmic Culture.